Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Cracking Cryptocurrency Market Update, as always, with your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at crackingcryptocurrency.com. Hopefully, you guys are doing fantastic wherever you happen to be tuning in from and wherever you are in the world. I think those are the two same things. I think I just repeated myself. These things happen on a Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Today is, of course, December 17th, 2021, foul year of our Lord, as we descend deeper and deeper into the bowels of the crypto winter. Or are we? Did we just experience a bear trap, and is the market's pushing up? We'll get to the charts here in just a second and look over that. Okay, so I do want to talk a little bit about the FOMC announcement that we've had a couple days to kind of internalize now and talk about. Overall, I just wanted to note that pretty much everything was to be expected. Nothing really new came out of there. The only thing that was a little negative for the markets is the aggressiveness at where they want to kind of raise rates. That means they'd have to do, so they want to raise to 0.9. So that means they're going to have to do 3 subsequent hikes in 2022 from 25, where it's currently at, 0.25 to 0.5 in Q1. They're going to have to do 0.25 to 0.5 to 0.75 in Q2, Q3, probably Q3. And then they want to get the target rate to 0.9. Now, this was not what the market was expecting. The market was expecting to continue to see that kind of free and easy cash. However, the other way that this can be interpreted, it's not overly, some are calling this like really hawkish, but overall, it does imply that the Fed does feel more positive about the economy, or that they will feel more positive with the economy following into 2022. At least that's the expectation. So overall, I think that the markets we saw that the markets kind of responded preemptorily prior to the decision in a very positive way, and then responded directly after with a very negative result. So we have not yet seen the markets do a full rebound. Again, as I said, I do expect, just a moment here. I do expect to see Bitcoin continue to slide sideways as we are down just a little bit from the daily. Haven't broken out of that channel that we kind of talked about, so still maintaining key levels. Again, the overall direction is, of course, downwards, because we do have that key support levels below us. We've pointed those out several times. We'll get to that in just a few seconds. But I do expect to see altcoins continue to perform okay in this area, especially if Bitcoin just continues to move overall sideways with no massive big weekly trending movement. So right now we're currently trading in a locked in value area. I don't really expect to see us break this. So again, we'll get to the charts and kind of talk about this here in a second. So shout outs to everybody in the chat. We've got Torrent, we've got Joe, we've got Alex81, Ron Legato, Turbo96, Stang watching us over on Twitch. Shout out to you, my friend. Daniel N and Crypto Bull 21, as always. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic today. It's going to be a good day in the market. So what I've been working on this morning is finishing up the super duper DEMA strategy. I've taught myself how to encode strategy alerts into the TradingView system. So this way, and I'll show you guys this in a little bit. I'm not quite done with it, but what you'll be able to do is in the settings, you'll be able to select whether or not to use entry and exit alerts for strategy alerts, and then you'll be able to put your custom message in there. So if you're using 3 commas, or if you're using some other type of trading bot that takes a JSON message that you can send via webhook, then you can just paste your bot message into the settings window for the super duper DEMA strategy. Is the first one I'm going to be showcasing it on, and then you can have our strategies be traded automatically via 3 commas. So I'll when I'm done doing that, I will make a video on how to set up the strategy so that you can have 3 commas execute the trades. At least that's my hope. And probably go back and start doing that on the previous ones. There are a few hiccups, like for example, as you guys know, in most of our strategy testers, we use multiple different profit-taking strategies. They're very granular, so you can select whether to go long only, short only, long and short. You can select your profit-taking strategy. By profit-taking strategy, you can select whether to go all in with the position and then have full entry, full exit. And that's usually going to entail either you enter and then you take all your profits at a take profit level, or you enter and you take all your profits on an exit signal if you're not using a take profit. Now, there is another strategy that we utilize that I use in my personal trading for some strategies called 50-50. And this is where we take 50% of our profits at a predetermined level, usually an extension of ATR. At that point, we move our stop loss to break even, and then we take the second half of our profits on an exit signal or on a subsequent. We have the husky power going on here. What's up, girl? And then we take our second portion of profits on an exit signal or on a another take profit level. So most of the strategy testers are, well, actually all the strategy testers are set up for both profit taking strategies. And the only hiccup is that currently in the first implementation of the strategy alerts, we will only have the ability to do the all in, all out profit taking strategy. So remember, whenever we create a strategy, whenever we're implementing a trading strategy, if you utilize and this is from my experience and from just about everybody else that's traded in this fashion, if you use a 50-50 profit taking strategy, you are going to have increased percent profitability. You're going to have a higher hit rate, usually at the offset of less actual net profit. Sometimes that difference is a lot. Sometimes that difference is a little bit. But in general, we're always going to experience better trading results with the 50-50 take profit strategy, insofar as we're going to win more frequently. However, when we use the 50-50, because we're not allowing our entire position to run, when we do get those big winners, we're not going to make as much money. So it does affect your equity curve. Whereas if you utilize the all-in, all-out profit-taking strategy, you are going to have a reduced hit rate almost always with a trending strategy. But you're generally going to make more money in the long run. The problem here is that, and this, you guys know this from my Pathways to Profit education, if you trade a strategy that has a low hit rate, you often manually, or even automatically, if you have it traded automatically, you often will not be able to continue trading that strategy, right? You can make many trending strategies look good on paper. That is, you can, you look at the net profit and you're like, oh my God, I would have made so much money. But the problem with that is that you're going to be trading this manually, and you're going to be dealing with all the emotional difficulties and psychological difficulties that you get from looking at a strategy and looking at its results. And if you're trading a strategy where you're only winning 30% of the time, 35% of the time, 40% of the time, it doesn't really matter how much money you're making, because you're likely not going to have the discipline to continue trading that strategy all the way through to where you would actually realize the profits of that. Now, you could argue that if you just develop the discipline or develop the patience to continue trading that strategy all the way, then you would realize that profit. But just in my experience, it's very hard to do. So hard to do that, in fact, it doesn't really get done. I don't know too many people who are able to do that. When they do, they're using smaller capital, and they let that strategy trade for a long period of time, to where the net results sometimes aren't worth it. Because then again, once you start jacking that capital up in that strategy, if it's not winning frequently, you're typically going to pull it. Now, of course, there are going to be individuals out there, especially those who are going to go really down the path of automated trading, where they will they'll have less chance of dealing with this problem, or that they'll have they'll develop the strategy. Thank you, guys. They will develop the strategy. They will see that it has a low hit rate, but it has a high net profit, and they're just gonna go with it, right? Most people won't. This is why we've got the strategy optimized for both types of people. However, in general, we're almost always going to recommend the 50-50 profit taking strategy for multiple reasons. Okay, let's see here. Let's go to all right. So with that being said, let's hop over into the live scene and start breaking down the markets. Okay, here we are. Let's address some questions here. Anyword says sold DEX coming out in February, includes BTC pairings, which is very interesting. Yeah, I'd be kind of excited to see that, actually. Longbeard is here hiding. Crypto Bull 21 says sweet. Dr. Farouk N says, why does BTC lose its value day by day? Well, that's because you're looking at recent history, right? Bitcoin is losing value day by day because it is trending downwards. If you were attending the stream or looking at Bitcoin's value earlier this year, pretty much any time earlier this year, pretty much any time in 2020, and in the latter half of 2019, you would have said, you could have asked yourself, why does Bitcoin continue to increase in value day by day? So the value of any asset is going to rise and fall based on many factors, including supply and demand. including circulating supply, including the emotions of individuals trading. And that's generally the most primary overleading factor. The market is just simply a mathematical expression of the decisions made by human beings. Every single trade in the market is a decision either made by a computer built by a human or by a human doing it on his own. So what is the name of that precious my dog's name is Millie. She has an old lady name. She's a little ornery. She just had some surgery yesterday. She got spayed yesterday. Yeah, she's a little loopy from the pain medicine. So, but she's awesome. She's my favorite thing on the planet next to my daughter. Okay. With that being said, however, so going back to Dr. Farouk's question, it is interesting to point out, though, that Bitcoin is still the best performing asset of the last 10 years, year after year. And so if we kind of take a step back, we can just see that year over year, Bitcoin tends to increase in value. Its average price continues to rise, continues to rise, continues to rise. Okay. So let's do as we normally do. Okay, we got the lower time frames, but first let's go to all right, let's go back out to the weekly Heikin Ashi. This is going to be our big picture kind of trending strategy. And we're going to throw on we'll throw on the CCEMAs as well. Okay. Okay. So CCEMAs will help out here. So we've got our short-term moving averages and we've got our longer-term moving averages as well. So what I want to point out here is just what I've been continuing to keep you guys updated on. We have the TD Sequential on the chart, and if you guys are unfamiliar with the TD Sequential, it's the most popular video on our YouTube channel. So go check that out. It's the most popular video on our YouTube channel. And we have, we've got the CCEMA script, which is public. Anybody can utilize this. And then we do have the bottom feeder algorithm, which is for premium members only. That's our bottom detection system. So interesting to note, bottom feeder is not firing here. We have a bearish weekly Heikin Ashi trend, and we are on a 5 of 9 on the TD Sequential, right? So just using basic TD Sequential strategy here, we do potentially have 4 more weeks of downside. However, the interesting thing to note out here is that, as I said, the last 2 cycles have been interrupted, once on a 6 and once on a 7. And those were for the uptrends. We can see here that the previous TD Sequential downtrend did complete a TD setup, came down here to the 50-period weekly exponential moving average, and that's where we really bottomed out. We did have a short mini count there trying to complete our TD countdown for a 13, which is a stronger reversal signal than a TD setup, but we were unable. We got interrupted on a 5. So it'll be interesting if we actually do close this week out. We will be closing this week out bearish, unless we have some massive, huge super pump over the weekend, but that almost never happens. But I don't see that. We almost never get these insane, crazy super pumps. So, but it'll be interesting if we do end up closing this week out bearish, which we will, and then start appreciating come Monday, right? I don't really see that happening. Again, overall, what I would really like to see here is I would like to see Bitcoin move sideways in a consolidation period. If we do that, I would be pretty happy about that, because I would probably go shopping for some more Bitcoin at these levels. I would probably take some low leveraged long exposures, because I would be expecting us to then begin pushing up and making new highs moving into Q1 of 2022, which would be quite nice. Maybe we could reach a peak in February or March. So these are key levels to watch for. If we break down below these levels, again, it's going to be kind of bad. It's going to be kind of a signal that we're going to be moving into yet another crypto winter. And whether or not that actually completes, but it will be a bearish sign for most cryptos, which, you know, is not, listen, I want you guys to understand this. Crypto winter is not a bad thing, right? It's always a scary thing when it's your money right now and you're seeing the value of your long-term holds depreciate. And you always ask yourself, is this the end? Is crypto done for? Listen, there's a key concept that I've learned in this space, and that's that crypto is here to stay. Right? Valuations on crypto are not out of sync with what's going on. Do we have a lot of fakers in the space? Is there a lot of stuff that needs to be cleared out? Yes, absolutely. But good quality projects are going to continue to perform well. Good quality projects are going to continue to perform well. And you pick the technologies that you understand and that you think will fundamentally change the world. You invest in them. And one interesting thing too about investing is that when it comes to long-term investing, it's generally a terrible idea to invest based on what the market may or may not do, right? That is, if you come across something, this is why the saying is the best time to invest is always now, right? Timing the market is very difficult, right? Long-term swings, very difficult. Shorter time frame trading, and I don't mean like the lower time frames. I just mean, short trending trading. Like that's easier to manage. That's how we've been able to make a living in any space that we've decided to trade in. But when it comes to like timing and predicting market collapses and market bottoms, like these things are extremely difficult to do. And if you concern yourself with what the market may or may not do, I think that's very foolish, right? Especially if you can see something that is valuable and you can make the determination that it's currently undervalued by the market and you begin purchasing that asset to hold for the long term. You just buy quality things for investing, regardless of what the market may or may not do, regardless of if we're at the top, regardless of whether we're at the bottom, because if you're patient, you will be rewarded if your analytical skills were correct, right? That's a key concept that I took from Warren Buffett, where him and Charlie, they always talk about not timing the market. They always talk about just finding things that are high quality and investing in them, right? And just waiting until you win. That's it. The market is a tool of transferring funds from the impatient to the patient. So yeah. Don't not invest because it's crypto winter. Don't not invest because we might go into a bear market. Don't delay your decision making or delay deploying your capital, right? Because what's cash on hand doing for you, right? It's just sitting there, right? And the reality is, and I've talked about this before, that individuals who try to time the market with their investments generally fail, right? Like, let's say right now you're looking at this chart. Let's say right now you're looking at this chart and you're saying, I want to sell my Bitcoin here because I think that we're going to go down to 20,000. Okay. The reality is that if you do that, and Bitcoin, let's say you do that, right? You've got good odds that this might be the bottom, right? So Bitcoin doesn't go down to 20,000. You end up selling at 45 and 46, whatever. And then you end up buying back at a higher price, right? So you've just completely defeated the purpose of making money in the markets. Secondly, let's say Bitcoin does actually go down to 20,000. Do you think you're actually going to execute on your plan and buy back in at 20,000? In my experience, almost nobody ever does that, right? They sell because they're panicked by some information or news. They have a plan to buy back lower. If the market does go lower, they never end up buying back in. They just end up buying back in at a higher price, right? After it's rallied and they feel confident now that the market is moving back up because we're higher than the more I sold. So just be patient, just buy the things that you believe in long term, and then focus on developing a strategy for things that you really don't care about so that you can actually profit and make money off the volatility of the market. That's the way, guys. That's the way. Okay. Good evening, the Splashy. Ron Legato is happy for a crypto winter because he gets to inject new money into my bag. I think that's the way to think about it, man. Andrew Munn says, trade what is in front of you. Bird asks, you mentioned we are about to go into crypto winter. Are you selling some of your long-term positions? Just for clarification, I have no idea whether we are or are not going into crypto winter. Nobody does. And if we are, or if we're not, no. The things that I'm holding long-term, I fundamentally believe in. There are swing positions that I've taken up, like for example, so I no longer hold Flexicoin. I made a video, but that was like a year ago that I got rid of that. So I made a video on that. When I invest in things for the long term, I tend to hold them for the long term, right? The portfolio that I'm constructing, I'm planning on passing down to my children. This is the way. Okay. So that's the weekly time frame update. Potentially 4 more weeks of downside, but again, we could have an interrupted count right here at the 50. The thing to watch for. My dog is a little crazy today. Normally she's so cool and calm. Okay. So now let's hop back over to the daily. And we will look for trending setups on the daily. Okay. All right. So something interesting to note, right? So this is kind of cool. The bottom feeder signal is still active. We have not yet hit the stop loss on that trade, right? Bottom feeder is still signaling for the market to push back up to 54,542. Minx is agreeing here, so we can see that Minx is recovering. And what's interesting here is that now we do have, if we do end up putting in a green candle on Monday, right? We're going to be having some bullish divergence on Minx. We're going to be having some bullish divergence on Minx. So this is interesting, something to watch for. As far as the rest of our trending indicators go, we can see that the momentum has died down on daily Watt-Tar explosion. Okay, so we are now, we've had 3 consecutive days of trading below the explosion level, which means that the momentum is no longer expanding, and that is no longer a signal for trending shorts. So we're getting no trending shorts out of this level, and that's good because we've really had nothing but consolidation. And when you're in a period of consolidation, the best strategy you usually execute is going to be mean reversion or reversal strategies at the tops and bottoms of the channels that have been created, of the value areas. There's all different types of words for this. There's all different types of strategies for this, but this is essentially what I've been doing with the VWAP double bounce strategy, right? So we're in a period of consolidation. So what kind of trades are we looking for? We're looking to short when it goes up to the top of the range. And we're looking to long when it comes back down to the top of the range. And we're looking to take our profits somewhere in the middle. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So 2 things to watch out for here. If you wanted to take a very, I wouldn't say an aggressive long. Again, you can still be putting on a long position here. Okay, again, the bottom feeder trades automatically for me. So I do have long exposure here at 2% risk. So just a 2% risk trade, taking price right here, looking to go up to 54,542. Now, again, remember that does not mean that we've totally bottomed. Okay, we need to actually break back up above the baseline, which is up there at 55,000. And we need to start trading back above that, right? If we start doing that, we're likely going to see new all-time highs, and this will have been the local bottom. Okay, again, getting that 2% risk trade in there, getting that long exposure, and I think that's the best way to start filling your quote-unquote bag for a potential long trade. I do like to see the divergence that we're seeing from Minx. We reached the oversold level and then recovered from it. So I do like to see this. And if we just scroll back in time, the last time that we did that was the bottom of the market back in July. The other time that we hit oversold and then recovered from it was at pretty much the bottom of the market in May. And you can see we did have a little mini rally from there, although we did have to wait until the next oversold signal. And there wasn't any bullish divergence there. Yeah. But most of the time when Minx bottoms below 0, we get an uptrend, or we get a nice rally. Here's a good example back in January of 2021, where we bottom below 0 and up. And here where we bottom below 0 in April and then up. And here and here and here and here and here. Oh, that led to a little bit of a downtrend. Here. And let's see here. Again, that led to a downtrend as well. And here we are bottoming in oversold territory. So I like to see this. This is interesting for me. Again, I'm exposed to Bitcoin long-term in my investment portfolio, but let's keep that segregated from trading. Am I adding on more risk in this area? No. I've already taken the bottom feeder signal. I'm already trading on the lower term timeframes. So this essentially, this extra signal from Minx, I would want to see a green candle. I would want to see a bullish engulfing candle. Now, one interesting thing to note is that today might be closing on a hammer candle, right? So we've wicked down, we've cleared out longs or maybe over leveraged longs that got into the market on the close of this candle, or perhaps most likely on these two candles right here. Most of the longs likely entered the market on these two candles, and they set their stop loss directly below that. Well, now they've been cleared out because their stops have been hit. So a bullish engulfing candle would be fantastic to see on good volume. A hammer candle would be nice to see in conjunction with this divergence and with the recovery from the oversold conditions of Minx. So I do like both of these. Those are just a little bit more credence to the potential long coming out of this area. Okay, so that's Bitcoin on the daily. Let's go through now and look at what our automated strategies are actually taking, what signals we're actually in, where our money's at. For that, we're going to go over to Bybit, which is where we're focusing our trading at right now. We will be moving into FTX once we get the strategies up and running on those markets. We're going to be focusing on the 3-hour time frame on the USDT markets. Oh, that's not what we're going to do over here. Sorry. We are, but not in this screen. Okay, here we are. 3-hour time frame. We've got the super duper DEMA strategy running. The super duper DEMA strategy on the 3-hour time frame. So we're going to go through the 3-hour time frames, which is what we have it running for on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then on the altcoins, we do have it running more rapidly on the 45-minute time frame. If you guys want access to these signals, they're available to all our premium subscribers. They get beamed into the Discord, and the strategy tester that I was just talking about earlier, I'm going to be publishing very soon, and it will also have the ability to with the alert functionality that I was just talking about implementing, you'll be able to have your 3 commas bot, or if Crypto Hopper or Gunbot or whatever kind of whatever automated trading software that you're using, will be able to take JSON webhooks, which is how almost all of them work, and you'll be able to utilize this strategy to actually trade your accounts magically. Okay. So BTC USDT on the 3-hour time frame, and we're going to be talking about the all-in-all. So we talked about this too earlier, the all-in, all-out profit-taking strategy or the 50-50 profit-taking strategy. So I like to showcase the 50-50 to show how results can run when you let your winners run. So the BTC USDT has been in an active short since the 3rd of December, is when we took the 3-hour short. We did hit our first take profit relatively quickly, and then the other 50% of that position is still running, and will run until we actually close back above 49,133, 49,025, depending on where the super trend level is at that time. So 3-hour time frame, as far as trending goes, is still short. Again, we are seeing a few reversal signs coming in on the daily, but just note this meso time frame range that we've been trading in, right? Clearly delineated support right down here, clearly delineated support right up here, lower highs, lower lows, continuing to make lower lows, but again, a nice value area to trade in, making that kind of double VWAP bounce strategy very attractive for these types of situations. We'll get to that here in just a second. So Bitcoin is still in a trending short. Ethereum on the 3-hour time frame. Again, here we have the original short entry. So we'll go back here to the long the long trade, go over the last few trades. The super trend strategy took a long here, did hit the take profit, stopped out at break even for the other 50% of the position, got into the short, took profit, stopped out at break even for the other 50% of the position, and we just entered into another 3-hour short right here on this candle. All right. Now, there is an issue with this. It's not an issue. It's just a known weakness of the strategy, right? It is going to capture these moves really well. We can see that the super trend even does well in chop. okay, on this time frame. That's why I have the signals coming from there. But as we noticed a few days ago, when we took, I think it was 6 signals. I think it was 6 signals on Bybit altcoins, where the strategy wanted to go short on all of them, and the majority of those got stopped out. However, the nice thing about that is that it immediately got back into the longs and captured the other half of the movement to the upside to offset all of that. So, so although the strategy operates at about 70%, there are times when it gets faked out. But we'll see. You know, there are going to be. We'll just see how this. We'll just see how this performs. So, my dog has decided that we're just going to commit mutiny now. Let's see here. Anyways, so yeah, so moving on from that. So Ethereum USDT, it's been a little bit more volatile than Bitcoin, has not held the 3-hour position, has flipped positions 3 times, and has just flipped short again, essentially on the break of these new lows. Now, price is moving against us, but we'll just check back in. This is going to take maybe half a day. Well, maybe usually a couple days to play out. So we shall see. All right, so that's the 3-hour strategy. We have that running on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now dropping down to the 45-minute, we actually do have the 45 running on Ethereum, but only for a long. So this is cool to see. So split position. So we do have the 45-minute long only strategy running on Ethereum, and the 45-minute strategy just took a long as well. So because we have multiple signals going on multiple different assets, if the short loses, it will be offset by the gain from the Ethereum long on the lower time frame, and vice versa. Okay. I bet you are, Profit Bear. I bet you are. Let's see here. Okay, so let's go through our Bybit altcoins. Solana just took an active 45-minute long. Cardano as well took an active 45-minute long. Tezos is still short. Tezos entered into the short over here, took our first take profits, and we are still in that position for the other half of our capital. Let's see here. BNB is still in an active short. We've had a little bit of volatility, but have not yet hit our take profit target, but we are short from 520. What's the open of this candle? 526.05 on BNB. So we're pretty much right there. So still not too late for that position. Flat on Axie Infinity. Looking at the ZERP, we are short. Excuse me, we are flat on ZERP. Polkadot, we are flat on. Chainlink, no active position. Litecoin, we just took a long. So active long on Litecoin. Let's see here. Hold on, Dogecoin is taking a second to load here. I'm sure my dog is causing that as well. Double check I didn't lose the stream. No. Looking at the Stinky Linky, a little bit closer look for you guys. This thing's done really well on Link. Caught this long, stopped at a break even on the, actually no, took profit. So you can see here, the entry on Link was right here. Took initial profits here and then closed out the other half of the position here. So pretty good, but we just did not activate a signal here. So yeah, we need to break above 18,929 to actually have the active long position for Link. Litecoin is, again, we talked about Litecoin being an active long. Dogecoin is, whoa. All right, hold on just one sec, guys. All right. Let's see here. Dogecoin is flat. Yeah, Dogecoin's interestingly enough flat. Yeah, no trades on Dogecoin. Matic just took a long. Let's see here. EOS USDT. Let's see here. Just hit our take profit target on our short. Still actively short on EOS. Uniswap just entered into a long. You actually have a better entry price than us if you're looking at this position. Sushi Swap, no trade active on Sushi Swap. Avalanche took a long early this morning. We just hit the take profit target on that. And let's see here. I know why. Intrabar. So on this candle, we actually hit our take profit target, came down to our break-even stop loss, and then pushed back up. So this is actually closed just due to the peculiarities of this bar. But overall, looking at the structure of the strategy, this would still be in an active long. Phantom is flat. Aave is flat as well. Bitcoin Cash just took an active long. Algorand is flat. Ethereum Classic is long. Just took an active long. Slightly better entry than us if you guys get into that position. No position on Filecoin. Compound is long as well. Again, slightly better entry now. NEM also in an active long. Again, slightly better entry than us if you enter. Tron is in an active short. Tron's been just getting hammered, man. So we did take the short here. Partial profits here and still in an active long. Theta is flat. Stellar Lumens is flat as well. Insane Clown Posse is flat. Bybit's coin is long. Let's see here. Sand is long. Let's see here. Gala, this was kind of an interesting trade. Took the short, hit our take profit target, and then unfortunately hit our break-even stop loss, but still in an active short as far as trend structure goes. Decentraland is long. Shiba Inu is took this short here, hit our first take profit target here, and still actively short on the SHIBs. Loopring is flat. Engine Coin just took an active long. Alice is flat. Cosmos just took an active long here. Excuse me. Let's see here. Willy Woo Coin entered the short here, take profit, and then break even stop loss right here. Overall trend structure is still short. IOTX is flat. Omisa Go is flat. Luna just took an active long actually. And getting to the end here, Chili's is flat. Didex, we just took an active long on Didex right here. And Curve Finance entered into the long trade here. Closed out the first half of our long position here and still actively long. Hedera Hashgraph is flat and CELR is flat as well. So a lot of opportunities there, a lot of coins to look for there. BNB USDT for Daniel N. Again, still actively short on BNB USDT from 526.05. Sure. Asking to see XDC USDT on Bitfinex. Didn't see it on the Bitfinex SDC. I just look at the dollar. Let's see here. So on the lower time frames, we are flat. This does seem to have done relatively well on XDC here. If price, so for the strategy to activate, what needs to happen is price needs to come above 82, so 8.2 cents, and then a slightly below it. Okay, so we need to cross over the super trend and then back down below while being below the DEMA. All right. So you can see this caught this movement really well up here. back in, caught it really well here, and then we're just too far extended to actually take the short. So we're getting into shorting territory on XDC. Let's go look at the 3-hour. Let the strategy load. Yeah, the 3-hour did pretty good as well. We want to extend the take profit targets for the higher time frame, but we can see entry here and partial profits here and then partial profits here. So capturing about half of that entire movement, not too bad. Short trade here did well also. Exit here. Short trade caught this as well. The only loser here in the last 5 or so trades has been this short, or excuse me, this long, right? Got out of it relatively quickly though. So yeah, this is overall. So on the 3-hour, we're still bullish because we're above the 3-hour DEMA. But we got to go all. This is probably going to retrace down here closer to the DEMA. Let's actually hold on. Let me give you the old fibs. Actually, this is probably not just so for parabolic movements in crypto, we typically do retrace to the 61868, 61865, excuse me, and yeah, we're pretty much there. So you know, if you were just wanting to look for that particular trade, you've got a pretty tight invalidation area, right? Because you've got an entry really close to that DEMA right there. So let's say you enter mid range, and your invalidation is a candle close below. So let's account for slippage there. And you know, you've still got a nice 1-to-1 risk to reward setup here. Probably likely go for 2-to-1 though. So typically the way that you would do this is once you have your entry marked out, then you'll mark out your actual bottom and you go for a 0.5 movement. Typically how you do that. So that's going to be a 2.78 to 1 risk to reward ratio. And then if you wanted to be a little bit more conservative, we'll get there. You could just go for the 382. We're just still at 2.21. So potential entry is right around here, right? Around 0.078. Although if you wanted to be real aggressive, you could try to chase it here at 0.08, but I would just wait. But again, that is a pretty nice looking hammer candle. So, and then looking up to 0.085, 0.088 potentially for your take profit target. No problem, my friend. Robert asked about Cardano. Haven't you been here, man? We looked at the Cardanos. Just a second. Let's go ahead and sort this by symbol. Getting down to the 45 on the Cardanos. We are actively long on Cardano, and you actually have a better entry price here. So let's go look at the 3-hour as well. And interestingly enough, the 3-hour just took a bad long. We don't have this strategy running on the 3-hour because it performs better on the lower time frames because of the volatility. But as you can see here, we just retraced right back down to support, and the 45-minute is already pushing for the long. So, you know, it reacted very well to that bottom. So I think that is the direction to trade. All right, guys, hold on just a second. All right, we're back. Okay. So now let's go down and look for yeah, I kind of like that. So what I'm going to do is There we go. Get my 3 commas up so I can be ready to enter some trades. Should we find any? And okay, this is how we'll do it. All right, so yeah, I just kind of want to point out the double bounce strategy here, guys. Here is entry right here. Just beautiful, beautiful movement, beautiful follow through. I've actually been particularly interested in XRP lately, TCT. You know, I noticed first off via whale stats that there's just been more accumulation of XRP. Yeah, absolutely, Boris. I got you. And that kind of led me to watching XRP a little bit more closely. I think XRP is going to have a pretty good run here coming up. I really do. Yeah. So we've pretty much had our big pushes off the bottom so far for today's trading session, which makes kind of the rest of the trading session a little iffy. Because you're going to have to be playing on like reactions to the VWAP, which is really not what I prefer doing. A CELR looks actually really good here. No lie. Yeah, there we go. Actually, we got it right there. There is our bullish divergence. There is our, the only thing I don't really like is that test, that lack of test. Yeah, selling pressure pretty much died out. All right. We can do a little something like this. Okay. We're doing half risk here, guys. Cool. I was actually worried about getting filled there, but I actually did. Oh, it's the best, man. Andrew, it's the best. It helps you like ignore the noise. It filters out BS. Divergence is so much easier to spot with Heikin Ashi. Yeah, it's I don't like it on higher time frames. I think it smooths too much, but on lower time frames, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. On lower time frames, there's way too much noise. So typically kind of the like the way around this, right, on lower time frames is to then like smooth your momentum oscillator more, or like use a longer length. And I don't think that's the answer. I think the answer is just to start off with your sources Heikin Ashi. Yeah, it doesn't. I think the reason it gets a bad rap is because, excuse me, like in back testing, you can't back test Heikin Ashi results algorithmically, because the closing price is not correct. So use it on the NQ for the 1 minute and kill it. You trade mini futures? Or are you trading CFDs? You're in the States, so you got to be trading mini futures, huh? With some nice volume right there, baby. Let's go. Yep, what I thought. Less than or equal to. Okay. Interesting. Come on, seller. Let's roll. Little background music? Yeah, for sure. We can do that. It is. Just a second. Let me get logged in here, guys. Switch to my screens. Why do I gotta solve a capture for epidemic sound? Come on now. All right. Oh. See if we can find something we all can enjoy, right? That'll work. Here we go. Boom. Okay. Sorry if that was overpowering, guys. All right, is that working for everybody? Let me know if the music is too... let me know if it's too loud or not loud enough. I'll put it up here to like 40. 10% of that volume, and nice. Okay. All right, I just adjusted it. Let me know, guys. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Cool. That's exactly where we want it. Sorry for the like mad burst at the beginning. You know what I mean? Okay, so Crypto Bull, to your question, yes, I should have let it touch the lower VWAP band. Okay. I did not. You know, you know what I mean? Nobody's perfect, man. That's why I took this trade at half risk. So I'll show you guys now. Now that the trade's winning, I'll happily show my P&L. Well, I don't know why that's there. Let's make a new group. Here we go. There we go. Okay, that kind of clears up some of the elements in my... Trying to get there. There we go. Normally I like to make like you know, I'd normally like to make, you know, either lose 300 to 500 on a day trade or make 300 to 500 on a day trade. In this case, it's probably going to be significantly less than that. But yeah, I did listen, I like to see the like absolute lack of selling volume. I like to see this buy volume come in. I actually was at like quarter risk and then upped it just a little bit once I saw that big green candle. And yeah, the bullish divergence there. And really I think the divergence is the most important part, right? Also, we can see the rest of the markets moving up. Yeah, QQE is great. So it takes RSI and ATR. So you basically got your RSI and then the QQE columns they're like RSI multiplied by ATR and then applied to a histogram. It's pretty cool. I will go a little bit longer with you guys today. See if we can get this closed out. All right, let's go look for other setups. Yeah, here's just another Yeah, unfortunately, like on these big bangers, you just didn't have the divergence there, you know? So no divergence there. That was a good banger though. Yeah, unfortunately, no. And, you know, here's, you know, one thing about like trading discretionarily is it's always going to be mildly subjective, right? Like, do you measure, you know, like, are you going to measure your divergence only from the previous low? Right? Because if you measure this, there's no divergence, of course. But if you were to measure this, you know, you can make a case for some weak divergence. So, you know, you just got, listen, at the end of the day, you just got to get out there. You just got to develop some sort of strategy and trade it with low capital. There's two schools of thought to this, right? There's two approaches to this. Like, and I take advantage of both. Like one is what I use for my daily time frame strategies or my meso time frame strategies in PTP fashion. And I like to do a lot of extensive back testing and adjust variables and, you know, in sample, out of sample, walk forward analysis, all that stuff. And then usually for discretionary trading, particularly lower time frame trading, I just go try something out and see if it works real fast. You know, keep my trading journal. I've got all my trades logged. You know what I mean? And you know, that's it. Just get out there and do something, guys. You know, do something with your life. Let's see. Okay, so continuing to move forward. Curve finance. All right, again, here we had, so here was a good trade. So here we see the bearish divergence from the previous high to the current high. And we just wait for that first red bar to close back inside. This one would have done it. Go look at the actual Heikin. Oh, wait, sorry. Yeah, this one would have done it. And we'd have put on that short position there. Stop would not have gotten hit. And we would have targeted 1-to-1. Which we would have banged right there. Got it. Stop would be a break even. Might have already been. Nope. Stop's probably, if we put our stop at break even, probably about to hit it, like right about now. $375. Yeah, that seems right. Interesting. It's not showing the. Someday I'll have to check out the degenerate 1-minute strategy. It's an absolute game slay. What do you do? TCT Rugby shorted ZERP and made my first successful swing trade on 78 cents. I mean, so you're saying you made 78 cents or you used 78 cents? Or is that the price level? No judgment. Like, I'm not saying like that's not a nod. I'm like, that's awesome. I'm curious. I just want to know. Alex, 1233. Opinion on Quant, QNT, a London-based token. I don't know. I invested into a London-based token a couple years ago, and it hasn't done shit for me. Okay. Let's go see here. I mean, like, Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, I'll be excited to see it. I'm kind of excited to see it actually. Nice. Bullish on the dog. Yeah, Millie's going up, man. How do I set? I shorted to that price. Okay, yeah, yeah, that sounds really cool. Good trade, man. Hell yeah. It's not too bad, Crypto Bull. You know, like it's obviously like it's different. Like it's harder to get filled on lower time frames, especially on altcoins. Like, well, it depends on your position size, but like typically, you know, you're gonna be using, you know, it's. I always try to use limit orders, which means sometimes I miss the trade because, you know, like the moment of my optimum entry is the moment that I'm trying to spam the bid ask spread, right? And, you know, to get filled on a limit. And, you know, a market entry is going to ensure that I get in there, but just, you know, right out the gate, you know, with a $50,000 position size, you're paying $75 for your market entry. And it's, I can't do that, man. It's too much pain. It's too much equity loss. Yeah, QNT is kind of interesting here. So QNT has come back down to support. You can see that, you know, the thing is I'm looking at the Binance chart, so I always want to be cognizant of that. At the same time, though, that's all the other, you know, here's an interesting thing, right? I always like to go back and look at more historicity to make sure I'm not missing something. However, you got to remember that a lot of traders aren't doing that. So like the traders on Binance, which is where the most traders are, like they're just looking at, like, they don't see anything more. So maybe this stuff doesn't matter. You slam. Okay, I just got to push the button harder. I'll push the, I think that's probably it. I got to push the button harder. You know, I wonder if they like appreciated in price because they're called QNT, right? Like, did they do really well just because they're named Quant? Listen, so Quant looks like it's had a big correction, right? We do have these areas of support right here that acted as resistance on the way up very briefly, very briefly. So we'll just kind of see on the way down. If I just go over and look at the daily on Binance, you can see we've come back down basically to list price. And we have bounced off of that, right? So I would be interested in this range right here, which it seems we're trading in between 146 and 204. So pretty decent range to trade. I would likely just be trading this up and down 4068. Can you short Quant on Binance margin? But otherwise, if you're just looking for longs, just like wait for the bottom of the range. And if we're able to break that top out, that's kind of your first entry sign because your daily baselines are right there, right? So we want to get back above 230 and get this trend to the upside. You can see bottom feeder just scooped this up. Just scooped it up, man. And Minx has recovered from oversold conditions. So your entry signal is actually kind of on this candle. You did have a correction back up. You haven't quite got back into profitability yet, but we can also see here that our volume indicator is starting to turn bullish. Parallax is creeping up here toward bullish territory. Yeah. So I would wait, you know, again, Parallax is almost there, and Parallax is a really good indicator. You can see this, look at this bearish divergence or bullish divergence on Parallax too. That's really good to see. So right here is where we make our first low, and then we dip down, and Parallax says, no, we're going up. So that would have been a cool signal right there too. No bullish divergence on Minx, interestingly enough. So yeah, quant's starting to warm up. I don't know. I'm not picking up. I haven't gone shopping yet, right? You know, I haven't picked up any big long-term positions, right? We're in a pretty good value area for that, but I just like to wait until the trend confirms, and then that's when I like to get into my positions. So is it a value area for QNT? Absolutely. Again, we're in this range. I think that seems pretty clear here. We have now in recent history started like over the last couple of days, over the last week or so, started flipping a little bullish, showing a couple signs of recovery. Higher low maybe. But we got to break over this resistance, right? We've just been getting wicked to death. But we are getting closer to it. I always talk about this. Like, I like to see price hit resistance, come back, form a high that's greater, that's 50% or greater than that current range, and then push up through it on good volume. And the only problem is we've got falling volume as we approach that resistance level. So we'll see. Actually, no, like, listen, the up thrusts actually do have good volume on them. So there's this, and then we've got weak volume here. So one more push, and we might be able to break that. And then you might be getting a trending long signal anyways. Like, we're almost there. We're a couple days away. I don't rice overslept. It's all good, man. Welcome to the show. Alex81SG never uses market entries when he trades. Every single time your trade starts in the red. Yeah. If I don't get the spread right and the entry gets away from me, amen. Exactly. Yep. I let it go. I let it go, man. Bflow asks, when you spam limit orders, do you ever get multiple filled and have a larger position than desired? No, that's not the way I do it. Like, I just cancel and replace my order, cancel and replace my order, cancel and replace my order, cancel and replace my order. You know, I'll chase it for a little bit, but I usually don't spend more than a minute trying to get filled. And if I don't get filled, then, you know, I'll just set it. And if it gets hit, great. If not, you could also just like set it, right? Like, just set the limit order at the bid and just, you know, move on with your life. Come back later. Andrew says his thesis about trading is that you need to have 3 jobs. You have something that pays you daily, weekly, and monthly. I like that. I like that. Right on, Rice. What's going on today? Anything good, or should I go back to bed? You never want to listen. Every day should start with progress, man. So make sure that bed is made. Make sure that coffee is brewed, regardless of what time of day you're getting up, and go find that setup. Yeah, I'm long on CELR USDT. I just took that VWAP bounce trade. Get rid of AVAX. Kicked my ass last night. I was just bored. Wrong time. Don't really want to be long that looking at that, huh? CELR. We're almost there. You can do it. You can do it. So, you know, anyways, took the VWAP double bounce trade on CELR. Bullish divergence. Didn't actually touch the lower VWAP band. We'll see if I get punished for that or not. We'll see if the trading gods will be nice to me. We've got a lot of signals from the super duper DEMA strategy going. Been pretty active today. With regards to, I mean, in general, the market looks like it's going to be moving up for the majority of the rest of the Friday day. I mean, we got, let's see here. So we only got like an hour, 2 hours till market close, and Forex markets close tonight, and like Forex markets close, and so it is like 2 hours and 10 minutes. So what usually, you know, we're going to have, I think that the markets are going to drift up over the weekend, like based on the fact that we closed bearish, you know, that we've had a pretty bearish week. And we're getting some up thrust here on Friday. I think we're likely going to continue to float up over Saturday. Sunday, sell back down. And then Monday will probably open up. Well, I don't know. Monday will probably open up red, right? Ron Legato, thank you, my friend. Did the music stop? I think the music stopped. Yeah. Andrew Munn says daily is the 1 minute degenerate program for 2 hours. Daily is the 1 minute degenerate program for 2 hours. Weekly is your crypto, stocks, swings. Okay, I see what you're saying. So just trading once a week. And monthly is your no-touch Forex accounts for your retirement. Well, if you don't touch them, then what do you do? Santa rally. Pump till Sunday night, then dump to where we are right now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, essentially, yeah. That's what happens, right, Rose? Yeah. That's how it goes. I'm gonna be slightly. Oh, I see why. You don't touch your Forex account. Interesting. Yeah, so here's the thing about this 3 commas trade is that I edited Icy. Looking for it. I don't see it. I edited my position size, and it seems to have it seems to no longer have my first TP, even though no, it's already like a done deal. But we'll see, guys. Four times, Crypto Rick. I've won 7 times in a row with it. Oh, I see why. Okay, I get it. Sorry. I see why. USDT. Okay. This is so weird. All right, so that was super weird, man. Anyway, so I just closed the market. Trying to take my little P&L and walk on home. Attempting to close the market price. Shouldn't even been in that trade. No, it's just weird. It wouldn't like the take profit was there, like I put it in. But because I added to the position size later on, I think it just like had a fritz. It didn't know like how much to take, or maybe it already took some. I'll have to go look on Bybit and double check. But whatever. Adam says, hey Justin, this question might be too late, but do you think with the interest rate hikes now, stocks will stagnate for a decade and gold Bitcoin will outperform stock? I think that gold and Bitcoin, well, I don't know. No, not really. I don't think so. I think that stocks are going to continue to perform well. I think that Bitcoin's going to continue to perform well. And yeah, just be a bull. Just be a bull, man. The bulls make more money. Bulls make more money. Murdoch the Murloc. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's going well, my friend. Unfortunately, it's 12:26 and I have gone. I'm supposed to only be doing hour-long shows. I've got stuff to do. I've got programming to do, but I enjoy doing the show, guys. I enjoy sitting here and trading with you guys. Let's go. So before I bounce out, let's go see if we can't find another setup. Avalanche, you dirty girl. That would be the one. Maybe. Let's go see if I can find an actually perfect one. I doubt it. Why does everything look the same? Oh, it's crypto. It's all correlated. I fucking love my job. It's like we're getting a lot of VWAP rejection intraday as we kind of move toward market end. This is pretty good. So we're just going to go back to that bit. That was the only real setup I saw that looked right. Ah, shoot. In the wrong one. Well, darn. Might have missed it, boys. Look at regular candles. Yeah, got that. Let's see here. This is groovy. 1.865. $1.903. Move to break even. I'll try to get in at the ask. Let's go. There we go. I'm up here at 1896. Here's where I'm at. And 1881, and there we go. Maybe? Nope. Not yet. Might have missed it. It's all good. My flip the same. All right, awesome, guys. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate everything. I'm gonna head for the door. This limit order will get filled or it won't. We'll see. Short BIT USDT. It's the first time I've ever shorted BIT. Actually, I've longed it a couple times. But anyways, we'll see. All right, Mr. Ether. It's fun, but it's not. You know, listen. You don't get to. Everybody likes the sausage. Nobody likes to see how it's made, right? You guys are all absolutely amazing and incredible. So thank you guys. Let's hop over to the boom to boom. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Cracking Cryptocurrencies Market Update. Hopefully you guys have a fun and safe weekend. If you're trading, trade safely. Use smaller position sizes on the weekend because the movements tend to be a little bit more erratic and wild. As always, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, and or death threats, make sure to leave them in the comments down below, along with any hot stock tips that might be correlated with such said death threats. Those are always appreciated. If you guys are interested in improving your trading ability, make sure to take advantage of everything that we have to offer over at crackingcryptocurrency.com, including our educational material, premium signals, all the stuff, all the things. All right. Yes. Thank you guys. Go Iowa Hawks. We will be back on Monday with another edition of the Cracking Cryptocurrency Market Update. And until then, trade safely. Make sure to tip your waitresses. And I will see you on the other side, guys. Cheers.